G'day guys, and welcome to part 4 of the RB25 E36 conversion. This is my car that I'm building to turn into a drift car, and if you haven't seen part 1, 2 and 3, make sure you go check them out. But this video, we're jumping straight into it. If you didn't see in the last video, I put out a thing saying, whatever comment gets the most likes, I will paint the cam covers that colour. The colour was midnight purple, so I've got the colour. I'm about to pull these cam covers off, weld some fittings to them, and paint them. I'm not going to bother filming welding them because I've done it way too many times. So I pull them off, weld them up, and prep these things for paint. I have managed to fit up the extractors. I did have to modify the rail down here. As you can see, I've notched it out, plenty of clearance. I need to modify these brake lines a little bit more because they're too close and I don't really like it. So that'll be a little bit later. And then I've also got to modify the extractors underneath because they sit way too low, if you can see under there, and they're actually hitting the body. So that's another thing for a later date. We'll pull these cam covers off, get to painting. So we got these beautiful weld-on fittings from Raceworks here. So we'll slam them on. 3, 2, 1. Bam, sonny. So got these welded on. Not the prettiest welds because I am not the best aluminium welder, but I have given them a quick clean up. So next thing I'm gonna do is sand them up, as well as this center cover here. Gonna also sand this up, get it all clean and looking good. You can't tell, it's pretty hot. I am sweating, which is unusual for Melbourne, which is cool. But I figured I would show cans of paint we have. Midnight purple is what the comment was, but there is 3 types of midnight purple, right? So I have gotten 2 cans of midnight purple 1, a sort of bluey purple, and then midnight purple 2, which is obviously more of a purple color. So I'm gonna quickly sand up these covers and get them ready to lace and paint. Our cam covers are all prepped and ready to be painted, and it is a perfect day for it. Besides a few little clouds in the sky. Some would say that the government did them. Shooter. Anyway, it's not the best prep job I've ever done in my life, but it is good enough. There's still a bit of corrosion in some of these holes, but I don't really have any things to get inside the hole, so it is what it is. There'll be bolting there, it'll hide it. But we're gonna lay our first bit of coat now. I've chosen for the Midnight Purple 1 to be on the driver's side cover. This is going to be hidden by the intake manifold, and I think this color looks worse than Midnight Purple 2. So let's get our first coat on the driver's side cam cover. So this is all just first coat right now. It looks pretty bland. That's our fade going on. We're learning here. We're figuring it out. I'll let it dry, get some clear out. Cam covers are done. Now, that took a bit longer than I was hoping for, but as you can see, we got the Midnight Purple 1 fading into the Midnight Purple 2, and I think it looks half all right. Not too bad. Good choice from Monster Jam shows 6067, I think it was, right here on screen. So thanks to you, man. I'm happy with it. I think it turned out really well. There are a few small imperfections that I don't like. I was sanding up the numbers to get the exposed aluminium look. I may have scratched a little bit, but in the words of Mike Lake, this thing looks bloody perfect. I could not help myself. And I put them back on the motor. So glad I did the polished fin look. I think it looks so bloody cool. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow, so I'll see you guys then. Oh, god damn. I ended up painting the oil cap as well, but it's sort of, I'm a bit scared to destroy it. Now that the fun part's done and the cam covers are painted, we're gonna head on inside to the car, because we're gonna pull our rear seats out. In here we got our fuel pump. I've never actually pulled an E36 fuel pump out, so I'm just gonna wing it. First, I'm gonna quickly clean up the rubbish in there. So there we go, cleaned it up. And I'm gonna assume it's just like any other car where there'll be a clip here and a clip there, and we pull it up. I can't be any more right, can I? This is probably the easiest seat I've ever pulled out of my life. Holy crap. Talk about simple. So got the seat on the car, and we're gonna look under here. So I'm gonna peel that guy back. I'm assuming that'll be a sender, this will be a fuel pump. I'll get both these covers off and see what's going on underneath. So my fear's being confirmed. I was hoping I could try and run some fuel lines straight out here into a bulkhead, go down there, but I can't. So problem for us is our fuel lines come out on the passenger side, but our engine receives fuel on the driver's side. And to get the fuel lines to the driver's side, I am probably gonna have to go over the dry shaft, which I don't wanna do, but we'll chuck it on the hoist, have a look, see if that's what we have to do, which I believe we will do, which is annoying, but it is what it is. Your boy is in a little bit of a dilemma right now, trying to figure out what to do with my fuel lines. And if you look here, this is where the standard fuel lines come down along the body there, but we need it on this side. And my first thought was like, oh yeah, I'll just run it up over this. And I'm like, well, hold on a minute, I can't because our tail shaft is there, because if you exploded apart, you'd you know, burst your fuel lines and cause a fire possibly. Spoke to my dad, he reckons we should run them along like this, and then stop here and go over the gearbox like that, down along this way, along the rail there. Now, probably gonna do that. Problem is, I'm gonna pull the box out, and that's annoying in itself, but I'm probably better off just pulling the motor and box out again, which I don't want to do, but it is what it is. So that is gonna be tomorrow's problem. Have a quick check out here. Fresh tail shaft from GJ Drivelines. They hooked us up massively on the E36, so massive thank you to Matty Boy from down there at GJ Drivelines. If anyone needs any custom shafts done, make sure you hit them up. They are in Keysborough or Somerton, and they do wicked prices and wicked shafts. So we're also getting one of them in the 33. So looking forward to that. Full alloy boy, strong one. Anyway, let's get this motor boxed out and start doing our fuel lines. 3, 2, 1. There we go, motor's out. And you wouldn't believe it, it is about 3 hours later now, but I've been organising some things. I've been organising some of the racework stuff we got. So a bunch of AN fittings, some clamps, injectors, all that stuff. One thing I have done off camera is I've mounted the fuel pressure reg, so I just chucked her in right there, nice and beautiful. And if you also might notice, I have gotten rid of the AC lines, because let's be honest, this thing probably will never have AC. I also modified the brake lines a bit better, bracketed them up there out of the way, so they're not hitting the extractor anymore. I'm gonna chuck the car in the air. We're gonna start attempting to run our fuel lines. Hopefully we can get something happening today. Back, and we have finished doing our fuel lines. Have a gander over here, Bailey. What do you think? You like them? You're gonna look alright?
That is a fuel line.
They're definitely some nice fuel lines. I had to go to Raceworks again, so massive shout out to Jamie, hooked us up. We had to get some more fittings. You see, you got the stainless 90 that goes really well with that aluminium straight. And then I had to get some more brackets and stuff, but we're done with the fuel lines. I can at least chuck the motor and box back in, which is awesome. And so we're gonna do that right now. Look at this, got the motor and box back in now, and we have heaps of clearance from the fuel lines, which I know I'm happy. Bailey hasn't moved, in case you're wondering. That's all good. We've got plenty of clearance coming down here. And also bashed a bit of the tunnel to make clearance for the gearbox. When the inevitable happens and we blow a gearbox, I can hopefully pull it out. Otherwise we're gonna pull the motor and box out, which is fun, but it is what it is. Now the fuel lines are done, we'll move on to doing the fuel pump. Back in the E36, I've got the doors closed because my brother is working and he has music playing, so don't want to get monetized. Not that it really matters, because we make probably about $3.50 from this video. But we are pulling the fuel pumps out, and if you don't know much about E36s, which I don't either, you have one slot on the driver's side, which is your fuel pump, and you have this other slot, which is, I believe, like a sender. So I need to pull this one out to replace the pump, and I just want to see what's in this one to confirm my theory. So I'm going to pull that out now. Probably should not undo hose clamps like this, but it works. Cool, that's that out. We'll obviously replace the pump in here. Now we'll pull this one out, have a quick geezer at that. Ow! This is looks like just a fuel level. Or is it? I don't know how that works, and I'm not gonna try to figure it out. So let's just put this guy back in, huh? Alright, fuel pump out, as you can see. And of course we got our TI automotive fuel pump, which is actually Walbro. So your Walbro 460 fuel pump, the 85 safe, all that junk. Again, thanks to Raceworks for hooking us up with the awesome stuff. So we'll chuck this fuel pump in. It's going to be a bit different to this, so I'll see if I can fit into the sleeve. While I'm attempting to destroy my fuel pump, I have just received a very special delivery. Just have a quick Gandarino. Hell yeah. A wideband, I'm assuming. Plug in, a map sensor, and our friggin' ECU. Hell yeah. Shit, yeah. This is our Link G4X for the E36. Massive shout out to Adam LZ, because this is from winning the LZ World Tour. I got a $2,500 voucher, and we spent it straight on the E36. I was just gonna put a standard ECU into it, but then this opportunity came up where then we get a brand new Link and a wideband and all that stuff. So I obviously took that route because we will end up doing some cool things with this motor down the track. But a Link is wicked. I'm so stoked about that. We got our map sensor. What's this? Is all of our cables. And I'm pretty sure we got our wideband in here. Yes, we got our wideband in here, which is dope. So that's so sick. So stoked for that. So normally if you're just replacing the pump with a standard pump, you'll just reuse these wires. Because we're going with a 460 pump, they tend to draw a lot of current. You want to do bulkheads. So basically you just cut these two wires, forget about them, and you run your new wires from the fuel pump straight to these bulkheads. So there is a good spot basically right there. So I'm going to drill 2 holes and we'll put the bulkheads inside them. So then we'll run a new trigger wire and an earth from the top of the hat. We're just going to drill our 2 holes right there. So 3, 2, 1. So that's the bulkheads done. Nice, and it's pretty simple. Got them pretty tight and locked off with the locking nut there. So they are ready to go. Pretty happy with that. If you guys want the part number for the bulkhead, just from Raceworks, FSA 499, as you can see. Now we're back in the E36. We've got the fuel pump all done with the bulkheads done, the wiring's done. Got a nice little hose clamp there. Got the bulkheads aiming away from each other, so they're not gonna earth out on each other. We definitely don't want that to happen. So that's all gravy. We're gonna chuck this in and that'll be it. So I'm just gonna slam this thing in there. Damn, fuel pump is done and in. But that is going to be it for this video, where we've put our fuel lines in, painted our cam covers, and the fuel pump. Have one last look at it. Got our awesome fuel pressure reg. Still need to get a gauge. I would have loved to have a 45, but I accidentally ordered the straight, but we made it work. And all -6 braided Teflon, which is absolutely dope. Got our midnight purple cam covers, thanks to a comment from you guys making this thing look special and sexy. So pretty stoked about that. But let me know what you think, because I'm in 2 minds about what to do with my intake manifold, because this is a standard RB25 DE Neo manifold out of an R34 Skyline. But this manifold, it's got a butterfly in here, and it goes 2 to 1. And I feel like if I want to make the most potential out of this motor, being non-turbo, I'm gonna have to leave that on, because that has been engineered and designed by Nissan to make the most amount of power, but it looks absolutely hideous. And I'm thinking the easier thing to do would probably be ditch this altogether, buy an adapter plate and buy ITBs, and then have this thing be naturally aspirated ITB RB, which ideal. I'd love to do that. Probably gonna cost about $1,000 to do that. The other thing I could do, which would be a little bit harder, but easier money-wise, is I could chop this all off, weld a tube to this, and make this a forward-facing plenum, and have it come out somewhere here. So, you know, that's all been deleted. You can still see the motor. It looks really nice. But again, I'm not too sure. But more so just money. It's expensive doing the ITBs. Way cooler. And now we have our awesome Link G4X plug-in. The world is our oyster. We can do basically whatever we want. But again, I don't know. A massive thank you to GJ Drivelines for the one-piece tail shaft. And of course, thanks to Legends down at Raceworks for all the fittings and the continued support. Those guys are amazing. Make sure if you do need parts, hit them up, go support them, because they're supporting us. And of course, thanks to Link ECU for sending out the plug and play. So thanks Adam LZ and the LZ World Tour for making that happen. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you're excited for the RB E36, because I am, and I can't wait to get this thing running. Hopefully next fire up in the next few weeks. We'll see what happens. So thanks for watching, guys. See you later.